On a tragic event that has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, died yesterday after he was shot and killed while speaking on the campus of Utah Valley University. Kirk's killer still at large, but the FBI say they have found a high-powered rifle and tracked the movements of the suspected gunman. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Michael Letts. He is the founder, president, and CEO of Invest USA, a national grassroots nonprofit organization that is helping hundreds of communities provide thousands of bulletproof vests. Michael, always good to see you. Wish it happened to be better circumstances.
Well, thank you so much, and you're exactly right, Guy. I wish it was better circumstance. Charlie was a good friend of mine, and we hate mourn at the loss, but we also acknowledge that I believe his voice is now being amplified exponentially across the world, and for that we're grateful.
My condolences to the loss of your friend. Michael, I want to bring this up immediately. We're following breaking news, if you will. The FBI and authorities now releasing the actual picture of the gunman, or at least who they believe may very well be behind the shooting death of Mr. Charlie Kirk. We saw a press conference earlier today where authorities stated that they were combing through the evidence. They were hoping to use some type of technology, if you will, and hoping to identify the suspect that way. They then stated if they were not able to do so, which apparently they have not, they would then release this photo that you're looking at right now to the media. We're taking a look at it for the first time. Your thoughts, Michael?
Well, obviously he's a college-age young person. Raises a couple red flags, in my opinion, though, Guy, that I think we need to discuss. When you take a look at the statistics and what happened, the facts surrounding this case, this was not some young person or some person who was angry at something that was said, punched you in the nose. This is a professional hit. I mean, when you look at trajectory, 200 yards, you have to have a professional skilled shooter to do that. You have to have wind calculations, a lot of factors that go into this, a lot of expense that goes into this, quite frankly, if you're going to pull it off the mission successfully. And usually a professional wouldn't make mistakes, such as leaving a weapon behind. And so all that needs to be factored and calculated. And I understand where the FBI is coming from. They did the trajectories, they pinpointed the location. There was some film that showed a person on a roof. It was grainy. You couldn't make a determination there, but you could determine the outfit he was wearing. They then looked at other cameras throughout the entire university to see if perhaps he had been traveling, transversing, walking some other place to get to that position. Evidently, for what we just saw, they found some that have the same clothing match. But the question has got to remain, is this person trained and able to hit a shot like that? Is he a pro at what he's doing? Because I've got to tell you, Guy, I got some real concern about whether you think you can just pull somebody off the street and they can get lucky and make a shot like that happen.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's one of the first things I began to ponder as well when we saw the distance with regard to how far the gunman had to be in order to make that horrific action in taking the life yet again of Mr. Charlie Kirk. I'm curious, Michael, what happens now? I mean, obviously the FBI and authorities have now released the actual photo. I would assume someone perhaps out there recognizes this person, even though he's wearing glasses and a hat. They will probably take a number of telephone calls or field those calls, and then what happens?
Well, hopefully, the way they're running this investigation, it's a multi-pronged. What do I mean by that? You remember I told you it takes money to run an operation like this. So we should be tracking financial resources. Who would have had a vested interest in this? Liberal causes, obviously. And would any of those dollars have been funneled towards this endeavor? Also, what's the chatter? Who's talking about it within these liberal leftist circles? And we need to be exploring those possibilities as well. If you're just going to go down one lead, you're making a terrible mistake. I mean, I would love to tell you guys, yep, this is it. Case closed, we got him. But based on what I saw, the professionalism of this, I think all options, all cards are still on the deck, and we better make sure that we're pursuing every lead
Yeah.
as necessary.
To your point, we do know that the FBI stated several times yesterday that perhaps not only did they have a person of interest in custody, but perhaps they had the gunman, to which they were mistaken. Michael, one of the other things that we should really focus on is no matter what side of the fence one sits on, and I'm talking about the political realm, a family has lost a husband, has lost a father, and yet again, it all reverts to violence. And despite us folks in America having different beliefs within the political system, it should never, ever revert to violence.
Well, that was one of the great things about Charlie. Charlie didn't believe in violence in these situations. He wanted dialogue. That was his main focus. Let's sit down and talk. And perhaps we might even find some common ground. We've abandoned that. What has happened is those who are on the leftist side, and I won't put the blame where I think it should lie. You take a look, there's a lot more violence on the left than there has ever been on the right. And why are they so violent now? Because it's a matter of power. They've lost power. They're doing everything they can to try to restore it, to regain it, to discredit anything the right is doing. Folks, lay aside the personal issues of wanting power. Do us all a favor. Put America first. Put America's people first. And when we do that, then let's sit down and establish dialogue, and we will find, I can assure you, we will find common ground that we can work together to make America a better place to be. But only if we lay aside the hatred and the grab for power. I mean, look, folks, power only lasts for a particular period of time, and it's not what it's cracked up to be, okay? So make sure that you invest in making America a better place for future generations and for our future children than you do worried about your own grab for power.
Yeah, I got to tell you, within several news organizations, we have seen videos of snickers, if you will, folks snickering, I should make mention of, giggling, laughing, which just downright disgusting to think that someone would celebrate the loss of life for, yet again, despite different beliefs, it's a father, it's a son, and a husband gone. It's just, it perplexes me. Michael, we know that later tonight, President Trump will attend a baseball game, I believe, at Yankee Stadium. I can only imagine, yet again, that's outside. You were former law enforcement. I can only imagine what law enforcement, Secret Service is dealing with pertaining to the president attending this event tonight, a little less than 24 hours or more than 24 hours after what occurred yesterday.
It's very hair-raising, shall we say. It's very nerve-edgy. And here's the reason why. It's always so much more difficult to defend in the open than it is in closed quarters where people have to go through security, et cetera. Now, yes, they'll still go through security of the game, but this is the difference between a private individual, talking about Charlie, and a public individual, the President of the United States. The President of the United States has the assets. There'll be drones in the air. We will have already been there 3 days in advance, what we call an advance team. We have identified the vulnerable spots to where our sniper shooting could come from. We'll make sure those are cut off. We'll make sure they're covered. But when you have a private individual, you don't have the ability to have those resources, and so you take a much greater risk. And unfortunately, Charlie paid the price for it.
Michael, yet again, as president and CEO of Invest USA, a national grassroots nonprofit organization that is helping hundreds of communities provide thousands of bulletproof vests, the question I pose to you is, should folks wear vests when attending these events and or speaking at these events?
Well, let's work our way backwards, what you just said. When you're speaking at these events, especially when you're talking about a hostile environment like we are now, talking about political, I would strongly recommend it by all means. When you're attending these events, if you're going to attend these events, make sure that you're observed, that you don't get wrapped up and not aware of your surroundings. Constantly be on the lookout and make sure you listen to one key aspect. If shots are fired, take cover, hit the ground first. Don't try to run away because you become another target. Just make sure you hit the ground, make sure you take cover until the issue is passed.
Well said. Michael, we'll give you the last word, if you will, with regard to Mr. Charlie Kirk, yet again stating that he happened to be a colleague and a friend of yours. Our condolences. Would you like to leave us with anything?
Yes, let me leave him with a word for all of us. Charlie had the courage, whether you liked it or not, to speak his mind and to state what he felt like was the truth. Let's all take courage and make sure that we stand together, united as Americans. We are Americans first and foremost. Let's be united, stand together, and talk about what is the right thing to do, dispel the violence, and come together and find common ground.
Mr. Michael Letts, truly appreciate your time, sir, and yet again, condolences from all of us here at Fox 5.
God bless and God bless America, Guy.
All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.